Media saying Putin is a surrogate for Trump's campaign. Oh, God, they're still playing the Russia thing? They're still playing the Russia card? God forbid anyone in the media or within the Democratic Party actually admits to the bullshit that they've done. Like, I can't believe I still have to bring this up to, like, the Vote Any Blue Will Do crowd. Like, I posted something about Jill Stein, and got all this positive. A couple of people were like, oh, Jill Stein gave it Trump. She had dinner with Putin. It's all been, she's talked about that a million times. She sat at this table. She paid her way there. Putin just came in, sat at the table for like 10 minutes. It's just so stupid. Like, Hillary did not campaign in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That was not Putin or Jill Stein. Debbie, these are all facts. These are not my opinions. These are facts. Hillary didn't campaign in those states. She lost those states. Those states were critical to her win. She didn't go to those states. She lost. When the Podesta emails came out, the mainstream media actually covered it. The Debbie Wasserman Schultz was fired when the Podesta emails came out by the DNC for election rigging or tampering, whatever they call it. She was fired by the DNC. I didn't make that up. I didn't fire her. The DNC fired Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was then hired by the Hillary campaign. I didn't make that up. That tells people this is corrupt. I didn't make that up. Donna Brazile, again, fired by CNN because in the Podesta emails, it revealed she gave Hillary questions ahead of a debate. Why is this so hard to figure out? Those are all facts. Donna Brazile now works for Fox News. Those are all facts. I didn't make any of that up. None of that has to do with Russia. None of it. The DNC admitted in the court case a year later in Florida, they said, we can do whatever we want. They even went against their own charter. Their own charter says they have to run a fair primary. And they said, we don't have to. That's the Democratic Party. I mean, like, we could all go on and on and on. They're still talking about Russia 4 fucking years later. It's unbelievable to me. Did Russia cause 6 million foreclosures to happen when Obama gave $1 trillion to the banks and didn't prosecute anybody? Did Russia do that? No, he did not. Did Putin do that? No. Did Putin contaminate Flint's water? No. Did Putin send Tiger Swan, a private security firm, to go harass and undermine water protectors at Standing Rock? No, that was Obama. That was the American government. Did Putin drop more bombs than Bush? No, Obama did. It's unbelievable to me that these fucking idiots won't see this. Are you dumb? Neoliberals, are you dumb? Do you have the dumb brain? Like, you sound just as dumb as the Trumpers. The Trumpers are like, Trump never lies. Wow, I don't even know how to talk to you. Like, what color is the sky in your world? MAGA red. I don't know what you're saying. You're just as dumb as those people. If you refuse to acknowledge the crimes of the Democratic Party, you're just as out of touch as the Trumper who says he never lies. Trump is awful. So are the Democrats. So is Joe Biden. The whole system is corrupt. What's it like having your head so far up your ass? Like, what's that like? What's that like? I don't know what that's like. Oh. Rachel Maddow has done segments on MSNBC where she blames Russia, and they're sponsored by Boeing. I'm not lying. I'm not making that up. This segment is sponsored by Boeing. And then she talks about, oh, Russia, Russia, Russia. These people are out of their minds. Or they're just evil or crazy or greedy, or they don't care if they ramp us into World War III. I don't know what it is. Oh, so Graham, that means you love Putin? No, that's a stupid, illogical leap. That is lazy. That is being intellectually lazy. To be critical of one thing means I'm automatically in support of another is dumb. It's dumb. I'm not excusing or celebrating anything bad that Putin or Russia has done. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying before you blame an outside, look in the fucking mirror. You're a heroin addict with track marks all up and down your arm, watching somebody with a drinking problem going, dude, you should go to AA meetings. Maybe you should maybe you should stop, booting Skag. You junkie fuck. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, as Sharif Snug says, it's because Rachel Maddow was God, Graham. Laughed my ass off. Oh, I know. She can say nothing wrong. Oh, so Graham hates gay women? No, her sexual identity has nothing to do with this. She's bought and paid for. All Rachel Maddow demonstrates is the diversity of the ruling class. See, oh, we've got a gay woman who can spew corporate propaganda bullshit. How is this so difficult? And they're telling us that Joe Biden is the answer? Did you watch that debate? Two old sex creep, corrupt, weirdo, rich assholes, white guys. That's Biden and Trump. Those are the two best. And is that on Russia? Is that Russia's fault that those are our two choices? Is that Russia's fault? Answer me, is that Russia's fault? The fact that we don't have health care, is that Russia's fault? 30,000 people a year die because they don't have health insurance. Is that Russia's fault? We have people in jail for smoking a plant. Is that Russia's fault? We have a private prison system that profits off of criminals, so it needs to create them. Did Russia create systemic racism? Was it the Russian police department that put their knee on the neck of George Floyd? Was it Russia that shot Jacob Blake in the back 7 times? Was it Russia that just shot randomly and just killed Breonna Taylor? Tell me, was that Russia? Was that Russia? Tell me. You vote any blue will do liberal. Tell me, did Russia do that? When you drive through any American city right now, any American city, I don't care if it's in a red state, a blue state, I don't care if it's Dallas, Texas, I don't give a shit where it is. There are homeless people, exorbitant amounts of homeless. Did Russia cause that? Did Russia cause that? There are 1,000 cities with contaminated water. Did Russia cause that? When Obama went to Flint, Michigan and said, oh, the water's fine, and took that fake sip of water, did Putin make him do that? The Uranium One deal, that is actually Russia. Hillary did that. Bill Clinton got paid $500,000 to speak to a bank that has ties to the Kremlin. There's a Russia tie. Is Russia outspending the next 10 countries combined in the military? No, we are. Is it Russia? Did Russia give $4.25 trillion in the CARES Act to Wall Street? No. The democratically controlled Congress, the Republican-controlled Senate, and Trump all together signed off on that CARES Act, including people like Ocasio-Cortez, who claims that she didn't. No, she signed off on it. She voted for it. See, none of those is Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, are they part of Russia? The whole system's corrupt. A crumbling infrastructure, is that Putin's fault? The wildfires in the West Coast, again, every year we get these. Is that Russia's fault? Is that Russia's fault? Crushing student loan debt, is that Russia's fault? 22 vets a day committing suicide because we're in these never-ending wars. We've been fighting in Afghanistan for 19 years. Is that Russia's fault? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Wake up and look at the mirror at how awful America is and these two awful parties. The healthcare industry, big pharmaceutical, they give to both political parties evenly. That's why we don't have free healthcare. Or is that Putin? The military-industrial complex gives to both parties. They buy ad time, the pharmaceutical companies. Every time you wonder why some pundit expert on CNN or MSNBC or Fox or ABC tells you about how Medicare for all is not affordable, and then they cut to an ad from Pfizer or Merck Pharmaceuticals or something, don't you see the connection? People like Rachel Maddow have 7- and 8-figure incomes. They're paid to just spew bullshit or just not cover the reality on things. When they talk about climate change, boy, there's two sides to climate change, and then they cut to an ad from Shell Oil. Don't you see that connection? So don't talk to me about Russia and Putin when we have the most absurd, corrupt. We don't have two parties in this country. We have two classes. We have the ruling class, the 1%, and all of us. When the 30 million evictions come because this government didn't take care of its own people during a pandemic, and by government, I mean Trump and the Democrats, you dipshit Trumpers that think he's somehow your hero, he doesn't give a shit about you. Nancy Pelosi doesn't give a shit about you. Obama didn't give a shit about you. The Clintons didn't give a shit about you. The Bushes don't give a shit about you. Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence, none of them. They don't give a shit about you. Kamala Harris doesn't give a shit about you. They're ruling class assholes, and they profit from your misery. So wake up. I'm tired of seeing the same thing over and over, you dipshit Facebook meme reading fuckheads. Are you stupid? Is your brain not working right? And QAnon is also for idiots. QAnon's a psyop. Good God, read WikiLeaks. QAnon is a psyop. Jesus Christ. It's not that hard. Fuck. This is why I gotta do yoga every goddamn day, because you're so stupid. You're so dumb. You're letting the oligarchs play you for a sucker. You think there's a difference between these two teams? Jesus, blame Russia? Okay. Scratch yourself in the face and then blame the nail polish companies. Shave your knuckles for justice.